What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Today we are watching the trailer for She-Hulk. Now, let me get this out the way. I love She-Hulk. She's one of my favorite female superheroes. She's one of my top characters. I've read comics of her. I have 3 of her omnibus on my shelf. I have the 4th one on the way when it gets reprinted. One of my favorite characters. I absolutely love Jennifer Walters. I think she's great. I love her comics. I think the art is always absolutely amazing. I love the stories. I love Jennifer as a character. So I'm so happy she's being introduced into the MCU. I think she's a dope character. I think other people are really gonna love her. So I'm glad she's getting the I'm glad she's getting the limelight and getting a show. I think it's gonna be good. I hope that it's good, although these Disney Plus shows have been kind of hit or miss. Like, they've been decent, I've enjoyed them, but they are definitely not the highest of quality for MCU or for Marvel in general. They become a bit lackluster at the end. All of them seem to fail to stick the landing, unfortunately, but they're still overall decent. They're still good, but I'm hoping for better, because you can always hope for better. So I'm excited to see how this goes. I'm very nervous, but as a She-Hulk fan, I'm happy to get anything of her on the big screen. So in case you don't know, do have a Patreon, full-length reactions, early access to other TV shows and movies, link in the description. But without further ado, let's watch this trailer.
Being a superhero.
Oh, Bruce is already in this.
It's a trial by fire.
Nice.
Who's
I
gonna
didn't expect to
protect
see
the world
Bruce.
if
Well, I
not
guess he has
people
She-Hulk,
like you?
so maybe. Looks decent. Wearing that costume.
I'm Jennifer Walters.
Peter
I'm
David
a
run, I
lawyer.
think.
I have great friends.
Although she's not as muscular as I'd like.
A demanding job.
We just started a
She looks like Jennifer
superhuman
Walters.
law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
Nice, he's
And a
back.
frustrating
Abomination.
Family.
Cause you didn't ask for this, but you still gotta deal with it. Your transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
Oh.
Bruce, kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
Yes, yes, yes. No, no.
I just want
That
to
looks
be
good.
a normal, anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is?
Jen, you're a story now.
Girl, your
CGI
ass
looks a little bit
crazy right now.
not great. Although she looks good. I love how she looks. She looks great as She-Hulk.
You could be an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero.
Although again, I wish she was more muscular.
That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Is there anything more depressing than dating
Why is she
in
on
your
Tinder?
30s?
This is the best date I've had in a while.
Oh,
Should we split some fries?
let's get those
Is
to
that
go.
is that my homeboy from the John Byrne run? Oh my god, it is. That totally is. Nice. Okay, for those who don't know, in the John Byrne run of She-Hulk, she has a Native American boyfriend, and there's that straight up panel where she's carrying him like that, even though he is like a 6'3" super buff guy. But you know, obviously She-Hulk, she's like 7'5", and she's the fucking Hulk, so she's way stronger. But I love that. I hope that's him because they're so cute in the John Byrne run. I love them. That looked pretty decent. Although one thing I'm not a huge fan of, because like, okay, I've read the John Byrne run of She-Hulk. I have the omnibus on my shelf right back there. I am currently reading the Peter David run of She-Hulk as well. I also have the Dan Slott run on my shelf too. That's the 3rd one I have to read. But she has quickly become one of my favorite characters, especially female comic characters. I love her. But one thing I don't really like from this is, like in John Byrne, which is that's her first full run to her own title. Back in the 90s, I believe, is when it was written, or like 89 to 90s. She never dealt with the things Bruce dealt with. So for those who don't know, she was in an accident, and then she needed a blood transfusion from her cousin, who's Bruce Banner, and then that turned her into She-Hulk. But the one thing I personally loved about Jennifer Walters was she never dealt with the things Bruce dealt with in terms of her identity and her personal battles. Like, whereas Bruce, he always had to deal with not wanting to be the Hulk. He couldn't control it. He just raged out all the time as the Hulk and destroyed things. Like, Bruce Banner has a huge personality split between Hulk and Bruce himself before he learns to really merge them together. And he suffers with it a lot more. It's very much more difficult for him than it is for her. But when she becomes She-Hulk, she fucking loves it. She's barely ever in her Jennifer Walters form. she's barely ever in her regular form. She's always in her She-Hulk form. Because why wouldn't you want to be a 7.5 foot gorgeous Amazonian goddess? You know what I mean? Like, she looks amazing and she loves that. And she knows people love her as She-Hulk. So like, she's a lawyer, she's in her She-Hulk form. People like seeing her as her She-Hulk form. She loves being in her She-Hulk form. Like, never once does she complain about being in it. She likes being She-Hulk. So already her being like, I just want to be a regular anonymous lawyer. I don't want this to happen to me. So I understand, I guess, they're trying to play it the same way as they did Bruce, where she has to learn to accept herself and accept her powers, learn to live with being Hulk and blah, blah, blah. And it's a good story, or a good starting point story for the MCU, but it's just one of the personal things I loved about She-Hulk when I first read her, was that she didn't deal with that. She already accepted and loved who she was, and she was not ashamed of being She-Hulk. She loved being She-Hulk. She continued to be She-Hulk. So that part I'm not super happy about, but I'm very excited to see this. I think the actor, I'm not sure who she is, but she looks the part for Jennifer Walters. She looks funny, and it's one thing I hope they keep. I hope they keep the comedy, because in the John Byrne run as well, she does break the fourth wall a ton. I don't know if they're gonna do that here, but it was one of my favorite things that she was constantly breaking the wall and stuff. But she's a very funny character. She reminds me a lot of Barbara Gordon's Batgirl, at least from the Gail Simone run, where she is she's very funny, she's very lighthearted, and she's trying her best to be a hero, or, you know, do the right thing all the time and be up there, be one of the big dogs and stuff, you know, like the Avengers and whatnot, but she still feels so grounded and so real and so relatable. That's one of the things I loved about her. Like, while reading her, you can really relate to all the things she's feeling. Like, she really does feel like just a young adult trying to get through stuff, and while being She-Hulk, obviously. So I love the character. I'm excited for the show. I think it looks decent, but I'm not gonna get my hopes super high up. I don't want to, you know, go crazy with it, but I hope it's good. I'm excited to see Abomination back, and he revert back to his human form as well, so I wonder if he'll be able to now control his Abomination transformation as well. I'm glad we're seeing Hulk, Bruce Banner, dope to see him. I hope that's her Native American boyfriend, because he's dope in the comics too. I love them together, they're fucking cute as shit. But yeah, I think she's gonna be good. I wonder if we'll see like Matt Murdock maybe, because he's also a lawyer. I'm not sure, I don't remember. Well, they do interact. They interact in Civil War when they have a lawsuit against each other, but besides that, they don't interact much. But I kind of hope they do, because I think they'd be a funny bunch of friends, She-Hulk and Matt. But yeah, that looks pretty decent. I'm happy with that. I'm trying to temper my expectations, but I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm excited. Let me know what you thought. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Hey guys, thank you all for watching that recent video, and I just want to give a special shout out to Oko Kanutilla. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm really sorry if I'm not, but just want to give a special shout out to you. You've been subscribed to my tier 1 on Patreon for a while now, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Love you guys.